Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Our mission is to share what we have learned from our experience and the experience of others to help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate the Discount Property Investor way. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Discount Property Investor Podcast. I am your host, David Dodge, and today I am joined by a friend of mine, a fellow real estate investor, and he's also got a couple other cool things that he does as well, like copywriting. But I am pleased to bring on my friend Paul do Campo today to talk about follow-up campaigns. Guys, this is one of the things that I think a lot of investors don't do well. All right. Reason being is, there's a couple things that we all need to get really good at, regardless if we are wholesaling, fix and flipping, being landlords. We still got to get really good at acquiring properties. All right. And there's three main things that I always like to talk about and teach when I'm talking about acquiring properties. Number one, you need to understand that this is a marketing business. So you must do some sort of marketing to get your phone ringing and or spend some time ringing other people's phones. Number two, you need to get comfortable making offers to people. If you are not making offers, you are not going to get properties under contract. And then you can't close on those for your fix and flips or your rentals, or you can't even begin to market those to your cash buyers if you are wholesaling. So number one is marketing. Number two is making offers. And guys, number three is following up. All right. I've been in this business for about 8, almost 9 years full time. Been an investor for almost 20 years at this point. And I can tell you this, the average deal that I do, me and my business and my associates, takes 4 to 6 months of follow-up from the average lead that we get in. So we are constantly marketing for new leads. We are constantly working the existing leads by running appointments and making offers. And then we are following up with those individuals that didn't let us run an appointment or didn't like our offer or whatever it may be. We are constantly following up. And I feel like a lot of investors, they may do the first two. They may do the marketing. They may even go run appointments and make offers. But most investors are not following up like the way that they should be. So let's bring Paul on. Paul, we can talk about following up and all these different sorts of things. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for that wonderful intro, man. So yeah, follow-up marketing. That's what I do. So, a little intro by myself.
Yeah, tell us a little about yourself, Paul.
Yeah. I've been an investor since 2015, wholesaling, land flipping. Had a land flipping volume business for a bit, mobile home flipping into notes. I still own those notes. But at the same time I've been doing that, I've also been doing a little side hustle in copywriting for those numbers. And that's not so much a side hustle. It is my full-time trade today. Mm-hmm. Doing big projects like selling Vegas property via direct mail, and then smaller stuff like, as an email copywriter for Ryan Dossie, your buddy, and Ballpoint and Call Porter, all those great companies.
Love those companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then also fixing people's follow-up marketing as well. I've had numerous people come to me to help them write their follow-up marketing drip systems because everybody's heard of the leaky bucket syndrome. You have that leaky bucket. You can put as much water at as many leads as you want in that bucket, but if you got holes in it, they just fall out, and everybody starts complaining about how there's no more deals in the system. They're just not capitalizing on their bucket. They got too many holes. So that's what I do as a copywriter. I help convert those leads. And I like to keep things short and sweet and snappy. So I'm going to talk about the 3 ways that I help real estate investors in their 3 kind of unique ways that I haven't heard anybody talk about today to fix their follow-up on the back end. And it's what I do in my company, reiomnidrip.com. And if you go to /Dodge, you can get some samples of what I do there. So reiomnidrip.com.
Wait, hold on. Tell me more about that. I want these samples. How do I get these samples?
just go to that URL, reiomnidrip.com/Dodge, and you could just subscribe right there.
Okay.
I'll
That's
automatically send you.
REI. Omni is spelled OMNI, and then drip DRIP. So REI omnidrip.com, and then use /Dodge, and you can get some free samples. I'm gonna check those out. Hell yeah.
You definitely,
Thank you
man.
for
Definitely.
sharing that, man. That's great.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. So okay, so the biggest thing that people have with their follow-up, right? So what I have a 10,000-foot view, bird's eye view of how to fix it. I also have like the small microscopic little details you need to fix within the copy, within the messages and SMS and email that you can fix to better improve it. So the 10,000-foot view, it's making it organized and structured, and I'm going to tell you how I do that in a bit. But the number one thing I'd say that a lot of people have trouble with is they don't know what else to say besides are you still interested in selling in their follow-up. So their follow-up basically looks like a string of messages, right? Their drip follow-up is what I'm talking about. Their automated messages, their automated tasks. But it's the same repeated message. Are you still looking to sell? Are you looking to sell? I mean, it's better than nothing. It's better than the guy not following up. But the thing is
they're
that
often very, very basic, though. I think that's kind of the point, right? You're just saying the same thing over and over and over again. And again, Paul, I agree. It is better than not doing it at all.
right.
But it's
Right.
not necessarily the best approach,
Right.
because after they get that text from you or that voicemail or that missed call or whatever, and they see that you're just asking the same question over and over, they're going to lose interest in wanting to work with you. That's at least what I've seen over the years. So I can't agree more.
Right. Yeah. So in copy, as a copywriter, one of the fundamentals of writing copy, this is very basic fundamentals, is we take a look at the features and benefits of what the product or service does, what it actually does for that person. And investors, they tend to assume that a that our prospect, our seller, knows exactly what a cash offer means to them. But a cash offer is the feature. There is probably a dozen or more things, probably a lot more than that, of benefits that a cash offer actually will do for that seller.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I do is in the copy inside messages,
you're highlighting these benefits.
Right.
Love it.
If you have a dozen, if this is one of the best exercises that was given to me early on in my investing career. An old school investor came up to me, and this is when I was having confidence issue, trying to get face-to-face appointments, having trouble with that. And he told me, look, sit down and write as many as you can. Aim for 100 if you can. I think I only got to 50. 100 or so ways that you benefit that seller. And so it
I
makes
like
you,
that. That's great.
Yeah. It makes you really expand it makes you build more confidence in yourself that you actually, I think a lot of newbies, they have trouble convincing themselves that this cash offers for that seller, thinking, oh, this is too low, they're going to reject it. There's a bunch of different benefits that you're actually presenting to the table. And then two, it makes you actually bring that into your conversations as well with the seller. If you know exactly how this is going to benefit the seller. So I bring that to the table when it comes to writing copy and follow-up marketing. It's more, the copy is more of problem solution driven copy rather than just a question. There are of course questions, but every once in a while we have to remind them of one or two benefits that we are bringing to the table for that specific seller. So I might say, this is a long message. I might say like, hey, John, we gave you a cash offer a couple weeks ago. Just letting you know that you don't have to pay any commission or closing costs with that offer. Just let me know if you want to lock in that price this week. So the benefit,
I like
that's
that.
one of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is I'm reinstating, hey, you're not paying any commission or closing costs with me. That's one benefit of a dozen others that you can every message you're alternating between different benefits and features. At least one. I like to keep it one because we don't want a long string of words there. I like to keep the messages short and snappy. Those get better response in a long formatted type of SMS. But that is one way. I mean, we can really nail down at least the copy. This is like, we're talking about the microscopic view here. The second way that we fix people's follow-up marketing is via the 10,000-foot view. It's via what are the buckets that we're putting sellers into. A bucket system is better than nothing. I know that there's a lot of people that use a hot, cold, warm. works. It works great because as long as you're following through with it. Because a lot of CRMs are really advanced today, and you can build all kinds of different buckets. What I do and what I've done with other companies, with Ryan Dossie, with e-commerce, things like that, I do event-based triggers. So what I mean by that is that I look at follow-up marketing just like a funnel. When a seller comes in, there are certain events that happen. You get a missed call, you have a missed appointment, appointment is booked. I'm just listing off a bunch of different ones. Appointment is booked. They reject your offer. They reject your offer because they're going to fix themselves, etc. There's a long list of different events where we can really mold the message based off of that certain event. I know this sounds like kind of crazy.
No, I
and
get it.
way
I
too much,
totally get it.
but let me give you an example. So, how I see it ideally is when your lead manager gets off the phone with a seller and something new changes, something new happens, you can plop them into a sequence where now the selling is being done for you in that sequence, where the appropriate tasks are being sent, the appropriate text messages and emails are being sent at the right time. So, for example, if a seller gets off the phone and tells you, look, I'm just going to fix the house myself, and your offer's too low, I'm just going to go ahead and try to fix it and put it up on the market for myself. We know that those sellers most likely aren't going to fix the house. Probably like half of them aren't going to fix it. So
I'd say more than that.
Right. Yeah. So right there is a perfect position for us to show our value by sending them value messages, by sending them articles of how to repair their house, showing them what are the top items that will give you the most bang for your buck. And showing us as the authority, the credible proof here, and then also leveraging the pain points and the problems that they're having with not fixing their house and waiting for that for that right timing. So different sequences fit different types of events. I mean, I have a list of them. Most investors that work with us, they purchase all of them. Some just pick and choose what they want for the sequences, but I design the sequences to be specific to something happening. They miss an appointment. That's a sequence, right? Leveraging the call to action of getting them back into an appointment, locking in their price right now today as prices are moving. Testimonial request sequence. I have a sequence at the end where it tries to grab a testimonial, a review, to have them leave a review with them. That should be this is something that I heard a while back, that we're not just in the acquisition business, real estate acquisition business. We're also in the testimonial acquisition business. And this is so true if you're online. If you're online, you need to be also ranking in those reviews for those testimonials. Those are huge social proof items. So for one, when we're face to face with a deal that we just closed, we should be asking them for a review there, and then triggering a sequence at the back end to give us a Google review, give us a Facebook review, whatever you have in your online assets there. So that's event-based triggers. So the third point I want to mention, how to better your follow-up marketing, is something I call stack marketing. So multiple touches. We all talk about multiple touching, winning the game with prospects, with sellers, with the marketing in general. They used to say that 7 touches was back in the day, 7 touches was what you needed, but today we're seeing it's a lot more than that. So we need a bunch of touches.
7 touches, I would say, is probably a good minimum.
Yeah.
How many deals have you done, Paul, or have I done that we're able to get the deal done with less than 7? And I mean, I'd say it's probably around 10% of them, maybe 15%, but a very low amount. I'd say the average number of touches that we do to get a deal is probably somewhere closer to 20 or 30, to be completely honest. I mean, my team's following up very, very consistently, and we are very, very persistent with our follow-up efforts. I mean, there's deals that we'll close, every couple weeks, and I'll look at the actual deal on the CRM, and we might have 40 or 50 or 60 touches in some case. But that's also why we won that deal, is because we don't give up. We keep following up. We keep offering to provide value and staying in touch and just seeing how we can help. And sometimes that helping might just mean go away for a month. and come back whenever I'd have more time to deal with this. And that's fine. So I agree, and I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. So it goes a little beyond just the direct touch of an SMS too, because I set up emails as well. I set up SMS, I set up tasks, and in those tasks I have voicemail scripts as well for the lead manager that's pertinent on that sequence, exactly where they're at in that sequence. But another thing that we do early on in the sequence is we also try to drive a click. And that's a common phrase in marketing, selling the click, driving the click. And the reason why is because if I have not every message, the goal is to drive a response. There are other goals within follow-up marketing is to increase your credibility, increase your social proof, increase in top of mind with sellers. And so if I put an interesting article in that text message and I drive that, I sell that click to get to that article. Now that's 2 touches. That's the SMS and that's them viewing my website now, to increase my credibility. And that's what I want. I want them to browse in my world, to browse in my website. It's not just a direct response type of SMS goes out. I want them, this is more of a branding strategy, is I want them inside of my into my online world as well. I want them viewing my reviews and viewing everything inside of my website. And if you're advanced enough, I mean, this isn't really that advanced, but if you have digital marketing set up on the back end, and then you can add that person into your retargeting audience as well, where you're pushing out Facebook ads in front of them. So now you're sending them SMS, you're sending them email. Both of those are driving them to your website. And now in your website, you have a pixel set up so that they're going to get retargeting ads throughout their journey, for maybe 3-4 weeks at a time. So now you set them up with one text message, you set them up with 10 or more touches after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love the idea of retargeting people that come to your website. That's something that I have not set up. I need to do that, man. I have been wanting to do that for years. So that's definitely something I'm going to, want to implement. But that's such a great idea because it's going to automatically follow up. But I love where you're going with this, though. When you send them something other than, hey, are you ready to close on this house yet? Maybe it's, it could be a lot of different things, right? And you have a lot of different, threads essentially that could be used in whatever scenario they give you. It's, oh, I need to talk to the wife, or, oh, I think I'm going to fix up the house and sell it myself, or, oh, maybe I'm just going to rent it out, or whatever it may be. You can send them, like a little article or a blog on your site that maybe breaks down the pros and the cons of that decision that they're going to make. And not only are you connecting with them from the text, but then if they click the link and they go to your site, man, you're just stacking different ways of following up here. Holy cow, I like it.
So drip, follow up, etc. It's not, the only goal is not just to get a response. It's very holistic. It's you're driving the top of mind for that seller. For your brand, for what you do. You're driving the value that you bring. You're driving the authority that you bring by sending them value articles, by giving them information they need to know. You're driving the proof by sending them the testimonials that you already have. It's all holistic. It's not just about getting a response today. That's important. That don't get me wrong. That's important. But it's, like I said, these sellers are going to take months sometimes to respond. And they can see your text messages, they can see your emails come through. So might as well, if they're not going to respond, that's okay. Let's drive up our credibility. Our proof.
Let's not just send them 2 sentences that say, hey, I'm thinking about you, call me.
Yeah.
Let's say, hey, I'm thinking about you, give me a call when you're ready to sell. However, in the meantime, if you're still looking to rehab this property, here's a list of things that I've done in the past that have helped me increase the value. And then again, it just takes them to like a blog on your website, but they're in your sphere. So now they may read this and they may leave, or they may read it and they may start clicking around and they may jump on the testimonials page or other ways that you can help them. And, the more that you can get in front of them, even regardless if it's in person or if it's digitally, the better, right? The
Right.
more conversations and essentially you're helping build rapport with this person on autopilot. If they're on your site and they're seeing videos of you, walking through houses or reading your blogs, you're building rapport with them without even you having to do a whole lot because you've already done it. You're just connecting them to that page or that site or whatever that may be.
Right.
So I think that is phenomenal information.
Yeah, you nailed it, because it does. I'm not. This doesn't eliminate manual follow up by any means, but it does cut a lot of it. A lot of we have to keep calling and calling and calling. A lot of these messages are doing the rapport building for you, so you don't have to constantly be doing manual follow up. Depending on the sequence, there's still a lot of manual follow up, right? So if there's a missed appointment, right, where I'm jumping on that with everyday tasks and everyday messages to get on them. I do segment as well. So that segmentation is a big thing outside of real estate investing. Everyone talks about lead segmentation. There are some sequences, not all of them, and not the majority. It's a very small amount because I want to keep things simple. But there are some sequences where I segment into 3 different types of sequences, where one can go to an owner occupant, another goes to a vacant house lead, another one goes to a landlord with tenants. And the reason why is because text message, there's we don't have a lot of room to say much. But we can still, like, each one of those leads right there, they have very unique problems and pain points that the other lead's not going to understand, right? So leveraging the problems that the tenants that they're having with tenants right now, leveraging the vacant house lead with their house deteriorating.
Sending somebody any information about dealing with tenants that aren't paying their rent when it's not rented doesn't help them at all. Right.
Exactly.
So you got to definitely get in the same lane that they're in.
Right. So
I love that.
It's the whole idea in marketing, and this is the Dan Kennedy-ism that maybe, I don't know if anybody's heard of Dan Kennedy, but it's the whole sending the right message to the right person at the right time. It's that is the philosophy of our follow-up marketing inside of OmniDrip. So,
man, this is phenomenal. How long have you been doing this for?
It's copywriting, or just this whole
all of it,
all of it. Copywriting I've been doing since 2015.
Oh wow, so a long time.
Yeah, follow-up marketing, I would say that this product, this service, I've been doing on one-on-one basis for about 2 years, but now I've kind of scaled it. I've scaled it, added software, added teams in place, added templates to where now it's not like you paying a large fee for me to write unique copy for me. I have a whole system where
you can share it out with multiple individuals.
Yes, I can. And I make it custom as well. That's one thing I really emphasize. Everything is custom to the investor. So if he has certain URLs, we plug those in. If he has a certain way of buying, we plug that in. So we have a questionnaire that we always ask, and that builds our profile for the investor. We take that and we plug that into we have hundreds and hundreds of variations of messages. That way people can get different. People don't have the same exact string of messages as another investor. We plug that in, and then we put it into their CRM for them as well. So that's so we're not just delivering the document to you. Here's your messages. Go ahead and have fun with it. We actually go into the CRM and we actually plug it in, and we actually show you instructional videos on how to use the drip follow-up we just plugged in. So
do you guys have your own CRM? Or you
no, we don't have we don't want to. No, I don't want to compete with all the hundreds of CRMs that are out there.
Sure.
And a lot of them do great work, and doing that would probably take another 5 years.
No. That's why I was hoping you were going to say no, because there's so many out there. You're just giving people things to plug into their existing.
I just have
CRMs.
just people pay a one-time fee that costs less than a direct mail campaign, and then we plug it in for them, and they have an asset for life. So.
Man, this is amazing. I can't wait to go check out some of the free drips that you're giving away. Guys, check it out. It's REI OmniDrip.com. And if you do REI OmniDrip.com/Dodge, which is my last name, Paul is going to hook you guys up. Paul, what do they get on that link?
So they got to subscribe there. They'll get, and I'm going to send them, they'll get a zip.
Oh, they get file. 2 sequences and a demo. Hell yeah, bro. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to sign up right now.
They'll get the signed with someone else, sequence. So,
okay.
And you know what? I'm gonna update it so you get the emails because we've added email. I haven't updated that since. So if you haven't gotten emails, let me know. I'll send those emails to you. But I have a signed with someone else sequence. So this is like this happens 30% of the time. You call the seller and they tell you, hey, we've signed with a different investor. They had a better offer. Okay, cool. Well, we know that 30% of the time that's going to fall out. Investor
Right.
doesn't perform, other title issues that are more complicated. Well, that's fine. So we're going to leverage that. That's a sequence to be on top of mind, send it at the right time, right message at the right time, and really leverage the problems that's going to occur later down the road. So,
Man, I think that this is freaking cool. I think this is really, really awesome. I'm going to head on over and I'm going to check this out myself. Paul, one of the things that you mentioned in this podcast that really resonated with me, well, everything, I'm going to be honest, everything you said resonated with me. But one of the things that really stuck out is that we really need to all be in the mindset or have the mindset of that we are in the creating a testimonial acquisition business, right? And that is such a great point. And I've been okay at this over the years, but I say I've been okay, meaning I could be a lot better at this, right? I go to a lot of closings and I don't even think at the closing table to get a testimonial when it's so easy to do so. I should be doing that. And even if I don't meet the seller at the closing, the day of, the day after, it's very easy to send them a text or an email or just pick up the phone. That's probably the best way, and call them and just say, hey, I'm so glad that we were able to do business together and that I was able to help you and provide you convenience, in this time where you were dealing with a problem either personally or maybe it was a property or maybe it was both. I'm looking to help more people just like you. Do you mind sending me over a quick little testimonial? And it can be email, it can be on Google, it could be on your website, it could even just be a little selfie video for 30 or 40 seconds, right? There's so many different ways, but we all need to be in the creating a testimonial acquisition business because that's what's going to help us build our business. And having these automations and these email and text message and and voicemail type drips that are more specific are going to help us get to the finish line, essentially get to the closing table, right? Quicker and more often, allowing us to get more testimonials. So this is just going to snowball on itself.
right.
Because, I have people all the time that say, hey, have you bought any houses in my area recently? Or, have you done any business in the area recently? And, for me, it's typically an easy answer, but for somebody that's starting out and that's new, they may not have a lot. But guys, you don't need to have bought 100 houses to have credibility. You might only need to have bought in 2 or 3, but you need to get the testimonials on those 2 or 3. And if you're brand new, you won't have any testimonials yet. That's okay. Make it your goal and your mission to go get some by doing some deals. But once you have just a couple deals under your belt, get those testimonials, add them to your website. And that way, if somebody asks you that simple question of, have you bought any properties recently or in my area or in this price range? You can say, absolutely. Let me send you a couple testimonials of some of the recent people that I've helped. And that is going to help you build rapport. And it's going to show them that you are not only a professional in this business, but you can help them with their problem.
Right.
Love it,
Yeah.
man. Paul, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know we got just on that testimonial, quick tip for that testimonial. Okay. Don't be afraid to ask for 2 or 3 different ways to deliver that testimonial. We do this at Ballpoint. I stack on testimonials, meaning when somebody has something good to say, or I go out and ask for it, I ask for video. Then when I get that video, I ask for case study. And then I ask if I can use that the written format on our website. So, and a review. We also ask for Google review.
Because if you help somebody, they're going to help you. This is just the law of reciprocity, guys. Right. So if you do a solid for somebody and you help them out, and then you ask them to leave you a testimony, even if it's 2 or 3 or 4 of them for one person in different ways, you've already provided value to them. So the law of reciprocity say that they're going to do this for you, and it's not going to be an inconvenience for them. In fact, they're going to want to give you a testimonial and thank you in that testimonial. A lot of my testimonials are simple. They may just say, hey, I just got done with this deal. I sold this house that I didn't want. And David Dodge over at House Sold Easy, man, he was awesome. He was so helpful, was very responsive, very professional. David, thank you for helping me get rid of this problem. And that's really it. That's all a testimonial is. It's them telling about their experience with you. And oftentimes they're thanking you in the testimonial. So guys, I can't stress that enough. Paul, this has been an awesome podcast. And I really want to say thank you for coming on. I am incredibly grateful for you and your time and for you putting this product out there. I know I'm super interested to learn more because we could always be better at our own follow-up, even though we are already consistent and persistent. Sometimes the messages may be getting mixed up, and I think this could really help my team. So I'm looking forward to diving into it. Guys, check it out as well on your end. REI Omni Drip. That's REI Omni is spelled OMNI Drip, DRIP. So REIOmnidrip.com and use /Dodge. And you're going to get a hookup. You're going to get 2 sequences for free, and you're going to get a free demo. So you guys would be fools not to at least take advantage of that free stuff. Paul, thanks again for coming on. And guys, with that, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Paul, have a great rest of your day, brother. We'll talk soon.
Awesome, man. You too. Thanks.
Signing off, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thank you in advance for your support. And remember, you make your money when you buy, you get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.